guys dig in.
Yes,
Tell me what you think.
We haven't eaten before this moment. I'm so excited about this.
Thank you so much.
Vegan, because I never get to have gumbo anymore because I'm a vegetarian.
I know.
That's really good.
It's good?
That's really good.
Good.
And it's hot, I promise.
It is hot. It doesn't look hot. So do you cook?
No.
No,
I don't.
Not,
I would
feel
love.
bad.
Yeah, I would.
Sorry.
I would love to learn how to cook more. It's just a time thing too. I never really have time to just sit down and cook. And I also think if I had my dream kitchen, it would inspire me to cook more.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But I don't know.
Kitchen, that's
Yeah, no. But I mean, I feel like my kitchen's so dark though. There's only one little window there. It's like if you had all this light, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
The light helps.
The light helps. Yeah. I don't like being in my kitchen very often.
How about you,
So
Claire?
good.
You cook?
I can cook.
You can cook.
I can follow a recipe.
Yeah.
I can follow directions. And it'll be fine.
Do you like it?
I do not like it.
I understand. I love to cook, but I just don't. I want to have people to cook for it. That's really gonna like
Well,
it.
listen, anytime you want
But when
to.
she was little, I cooked.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
did. You
So
did.
I tried to do the whole, sit down and have a meal and do all that. I did
Together,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, because that was important.
It is really
Yeah.
important.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save some for later. We're taking to go.
So Claire, you want to go talk?
Sure.
Okay, let's go on the couch.
All right, y'all.
And you enjoy
You keep
your
eating,
dinner.
little
Make
skinny
yourself at
child.
home.
Okay,
All right.
I'll be here. You guys have fun. This is fantastic.
So Claire, I'm really excited to have you here today.
Thank you.
I'm sure everybody has a curiosity about the parents. That's part of what the show is about. What was your philosophy in raising her and keeping her grounded so that
Right.
she didn't get crazy and full of herself? And because she seems to be very humble, and just like somebody that is acting their age. Even when she was 17, she wasn't trying to be so grown.
Keeping family around.
Yeah.
She has older brothers and sisters, and they are completely in her life, and will check her
That's
if she
awesome.
ever gets a big head. They would be like, "Are you kidding me? Sit down."
Really?
Yeah. She's really close with her brothers and sisters.
And
on
how
her
many
dad's
brothers
side.
and sisters does she have?
She has older brother Easy and David, then Kizzy. And
she has quite a few brothers.
Yeah, and Tanya.
Yeah, so they all kind of keep her grounded.
They all
you
keep
didn't
her.
have to.
I really didn't
wear that
because I get asked that question, what did you do? And I'm always kind of laughing, I don't really know that I did anything.
You had some philosophies.
I did.
Because even, as a kid, you lay the foundation in early formative years.
Yes.
And kids are watching you.
Right.
And so you don't seem like you're that person that walks in and got to be center of attention.
Right, no.
And you are level-headed. You were a school teacher.
Yeah.
You knew how to deal with her. So
Yeah.
you got to take some of the credit. Claire.
Yeah.
They don't get magically like that.
Right.
And by the time the older brothers and sisters come in, they're already formed and they're already who they are.
Right. I think a lot of it is you lead by example.
Exactly. My favorite thing.
Right.
True. What do you do?
So I was a teacher in Oakland for 20 years.
Wow.
And then I taught at a school called Fruitvale Elementary School. So the story Fruitvale Station?
Yes.
I taught Oscar Grant's nieces. They went to our school. But it was a really great intersection of Oakland where we had an Asian population, a Hispanic population, a Black population.
Great.
Maybe 2 or 3 white kids.
Yeah. So
But it was
diverse.
it was super diverse.
Yeah.
Oakland is an amazing place.
Right. But how did Zendaya get into acting? Was this something that she just told you early on, that's what I want to do, or did you just notice something about her?
She was a very shy child. She
Really?
actually still is shy.
I can believe that.
She's not going to just come out and
be the center of attention.
no.
Yeah.
She's super just
That's
low
that
key.
Virgo in her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when she was young, super shy, didn't want to do anything, we pushed her into dancing. Well, actually, her dad pushed her into basketball. He wanted her to be a NBA.
Because she's tall. How tall is
Well,
Zendaya?
she's not that tall. I'm 6'4", she's only 5'10".
Really?
Which
Only
is tall.
5'10".
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all relative. So he wanted her to be an athlete. I was an athlete. So we pushed her into athletics.
Yes.
But she was in kindergarten. She was 5.
She was 5 playing basketball?
Yes.
I know, that was the cutest thing ever.
Well, she got burned out of basketball. She played soccer. She did track. She was fast.
Yeah, I bet.
Really good
Those
at track.
long legs.
She just, none of it stuck. When we tried it, I said, you got to stick it out for a season, and if you don't like it, we'll stop. We always ended up stopping. So then when she was about 8, I think is when we started dancing. We got her into this hip hop dance group. When I got that job at the theater, she was a baby. She was like 2.
Right.
And my goal was like, I want to make a little extra money so we can go to Disneyland.
Wow.
You know, because like teachers, we don't.
Oh, of course.
Her dad was
Yeah,
a teacher
they don't
too.
make enough money.
So we were paycheck to paycheck. So I took that second job and it stuck, and I became the house manager. And she started coming to work with me. It's this beautiful outdoor theater, 600 seats. She would beg me to bring her to technical rehearsals.
Really?
She would sit in the audience with the lady that was on book, and she would hold the flashlight because they would do it at night, right? And
how old was she? Maybe about
7, 8, 9.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I worked out a deal with them. I became the videographer.
Wow. Interesting.
So I videographed all the performances,
Yes.
made them into DVDs,
Wow.
and they sold them to the parents, and that paid for Zendaya's tuition.
How cool is that?
Yeah,
I
so
love that.
she did these summer conservatories with Cal Shakes that were amazing. Like she was in As You Like It, King Richard, like
Wow,
yeah,
really
she was
classic.
a little Shakespearean
Yeah,
actress. And then she did 1 or 2 little commercials. But then her agent in San Francisco said, hey, they're looking for people in LA. You know, we think Zendaya could probably make that move down there. And when we asked her if she wanted to, she was like, yeah.
Of course.
I totally want to.
Right.
And so her and her dad went down to LA. She got an agent and a manager, and like literally 6 months later, she booked that Disney job. And then they were moving to LA.
Then, yeah, right. I just recently found out about Zendaya. I saw her singing. She was killing it. I was like, is this real? I saw them doing was a cover, and it was amazing. I mean, they sing off each other, but it wasn't an original song.
Oh, that was Mario.
Oh,
She
really?
put out an album when she was 16.
She did.
She did.
I didn't know that. Zendaya,
Yes.
come on in.
Hi.
Look at you.
Hello.
Thank you. Settle here. So I've been loving talking to your mama.
Having fun?
Yeah.
She was nervous.
So I'm so happy to have you here. I'm such a big fan.
I'm so happy
Not
to be
only of your work, but of your personality, of your humbleness. And I know you were raised right. That's why I wanted your mama here. I know it didn't happen by accident. I actually met you on the shoot for Lemonade. But see, I have you right there on my coffee table.
yes.
But I just wanted to talk to you and find out what part you would say that your mom played in your life.
Oh,
The biggest part.
that's a hard question.
I know.
I mean, she brought me into the world, so that's
Of
probably
course.
the biggest part. And thank you, because I get the stories about me. I was a 10-pound baby.
Were you?
So, oh yeah,
Wow.
I had a big head. So I hear a lot about that for the rest of my life.
A big head baby.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, it's almost an impossible question to answer. I'm so grateful for my mother. I learned so much from her. I think often she doesn't even know the lessons that she's teaching me. Like as I'm growing and becoming a woman, I think I learned so much just watching her exist and be who she is and be strong in who she is. She was just so phenomenal at what she did, and her passion and for giving back and educating. And I think that that's something that we teachers are so undervalued, underpaid, underappreciated, and so being able to watch firsthand her just be so selfless and in the gift of education, I think had a huge imprint on my life.
Your mom shared with me that she stayed back in Oakland and you and your dad came out here. So how was that being away from your mom?
It was hard.
I know it was.
Because when you're like a teenager, and I was like, I was just starting on my Disney show, and I was going through like all the teenage girl things that like my dad maybe wasn't as understanding of, whether it was just me being moody or it was like, just things that you need your mommy for, I remember there's like this great story of when I first got my period and I was on set, and my dad, like I have older sisters, but he still acts like it's the first time he's ever dealt with it. And I remember him like really getting stressed out, and he called my teacher who was on set, who was like my aunt, and she was like, had to talk him through where to go, what to get,
what to do.
yeah. The aisles, where to, and had her get on the phone with the lady at the store, like, what does she need? Yeah. but yeah, so there's definitely those moments where it was difficult, but I remember I would sometimes, like, if I was at home, I would just be on FaceTime or Skype with you while you were teaching class.
Oh, wow. Just to kind of be close to your mom.
Yeah.
And how was it being that young and being on the show? Like, not the first show, but the second one.
It started when I was 17, I believe.
17.
Yeah. But I think for me, it was more about, I really wanted a black family to be on
Yes.
Disney Channel, because I knew it was important to me when I was younger to see, like, Raven.
Right.
And so, I don't know, I felt that was important in children's programming. I was like, I have a home here. I've been doing this for already quite a while, because I was 13 when I started the first show. So I was like, if I can come back and make sure that, these kids can see themselves, then that would be ideal. It's been cool now that I've kind of had a little bit more under my belt.
And so you got the power to do it.
Exactly. We did a Tommy Hilfiger show, and I did it with Law, my creative consultant in many ways. But we wanted to pay homage to Battle of Versailles.
Oh, okay.
And how black models really transformed the fashion game, at least for American fashion, when they went over to Paris.
Yes.
So we were going to do a show in Paris, and much of it was inspired by the 70s and black glamour from the 70s. So we wanted to pay tribute to, I think, these models like Beth Ann Hardison, who was there, who is like family to me. But we just want to say thank you, because if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't be here and have this opportunity.
Open the doors.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we had, all of our models were black girls.
Then you can incorporate your activism in your work.
Right.
But you got to get to the point where you have enough power, and that's smart. That's strategic.
I've heard her say something that I just really love when people say, I want to open the door for people.
Right.
Zendaya says, I don't want to just open the door, I want to hold it open
and let them come in.
Yes.
Isn't that, yes.
I don't know. There's a reason. My platform isn't just for me.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
I'm just going to stand there by myself and be like, hey, look at, there's other people that need it more than I do.
Right.
And I think it's been a pleasure to watch other people's career grow alongside mine.
Yes.
Because of that one photo shoot we did together, because of, we've worn a lot of up and coming black designers and things like that. Like, they deserve the opportunity. It's not a lack of talent, it's a lack of opportunity.
Right.
Right. So when we can, we try to do that.
That's revolutionary thinking.
Yes. But she got that from you
good,
guys.
Mom. You said this story
Yes.
before, but it's one of my favorite stories of my childhood, and I think it instilled something in me that I will hope to do with my kids one day. But I remember a girl got bullied in my class when I was in fifth grade, and I remember being around when it happened. But I wasn't the one who was doing it. I just remember seeing it happen. Mm-hmm. And somehow my parents found out my dad worked at my school.
Oh, really?
Yes. I see my dad's head poke into my fifth grade class. He said, and I was like, oh man, all right. So I get in there, and then my mom's there too. And I'm
Really?
like, why is my mom and my dad here to talk to me? And I got cussed out.
Really?
And the reason why, I was like, I didn't even say anything. I didn't even do it. And they're like, that's the point.
That's the point.
You didn't say anything. You don't see somebody, get bullied and just sit there and be a bystander. That's not what you do. That's not what we do. And I got cussed out. And I said, okay, well, I'll never do that again.
So I was just talking to your mom about her tattoos, which I think are so fly.
This is a new one.
the new one?
I haven't seen this
She
one.
told me she just got
here
that one.
and here. Your flowers back here, gardenia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked her into this.
She drew my first tattoo.
I did.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I talked her into tattoos. I talked her in her haircut. Because I feel like, often I think what comes with motherhood is sometimes giving up of your personal self and things that, for so many years, her priorities were her child and then her second children of her school children, so she always kind of put herself last in that order. And I think that there became a time where I was like, I was looking at pictures of her in college, and I was like, you had the coolest hair. You had like the skunk cut, and I was like, that's who you are. Like, just cut it off. Like, just do whatever you want. And I remember the first cut, and it was like, it's never been long again.
No.
Wow.
And
how long
colors,
ago was that? At 52 when you started?
Around 50.
Around 50.
Yeah,
50.
around the tattoo time.
I love that she told me she just got her first tattoo at 50.
I wanted her to feel supported, and I was like, cut the hair, get the tattoo, let's do it. And then look what I've started. She's like,
I know.
she's sleeved up now.
That's my goal, is to be
addicted
sleeved
now.
up.
Yeah.
But I noticed you've been getting real sexy too. In your dress last night.
dress.
Look at your mama turning her head like,
I did. I texted her about that dress.
Yeah.
That dress was the bomb.
It was so
I'm so
nice.
different. I'm different.
It was beautiful. I don't mean it wasn't beautiful, but yeah, it was a lot of skin.
But here's the thing, she called me, she was like, what were you wearing underneath that? And I was like, I was just wearing normal, like, underwear and things. Like, and she was very concerned.
She was like,
and I was
what?
like,
Did you have on some shorts?
Yeah.
Her hip bone was showing up.
But I was like, I
what is
promise you, I have a
happening?
really long torso. I have a lot of space to work with.
She literally had to show me. I was like, okay, I'm okay.
You got that body and you got to show it while you got it. Because let me tell you, it gets harder as you get older.
I used to look like her.
I know, I'm sure you did. What is the one thing you think about the most that keeps you grounded? And so you don't get full of yourself.
My parents are so different, but I have equal parts of both of them. So maybe the dad side of me would be a little carried away, but the mom side of me just like pulls me right back down.
Right.
So I have a little bit of both. Those are my alter egos at times, you know, and they're constantly like going back and forth. I love what I do, so that's one thing. So because I love what I do so much, I try to protect it.
Protect it.
You know
You're
what
careful.
I mean? Yes, and be careful because I mean, sometimes I put too much pressure on myself, like don't mess up and don't do the wrong thing, right? But I really care about what I do, and I want to be able to do it for a long time.
Yeah.
And I also have a lot of people to take care of, you know, and a lot of people who look up to me in that way, whether that be people I don't know, but also I have little nieces and nephews, you know, I have family that look to me for that. And I also think that I was born an old woman. Any kind of like
you got an old soul.
Yeah, any type of spiritual counselor I've ever met has always said you're older. You've been here before.
Yeah. Your mom also said that you're the counselor. You're the psychologist of your friends and
of the family, of the friends.
So you're always that voice of reason, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
And you've always been that way?
I think so. Right? Have I?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So on your show, Euphoria, which I'm a fan of, you play this really tortured girl. Does that affect you after you leave work?
You know, I mean, in many ways, yes, because I think I care so much for the character. I've been able to meet so many people who share the story of Rue. And I think the number one thing for me was empathy. The fact that addiction is a disease. It's something that should be humanized and dealt with as such. I think we've criminalized it to such a degree that we don't even look at people as people anymore.
You also recently produced Malcolm and Marie, which I've watched probably about 3 or 4 times because the acting in that is so exceptional. How did that come about?
It really came about because we were just, we were in quarantine, and I had so many conversations with Sam, a writer and creator of Euphoria and director of Euphoria. For the first time, I hadn't worked. I've worked every day since I was like 13 years old. So not working was like, what is this? I don't even know what to do. Who am I?
To do with yourself.
Yeah, I was having like an identity crisis a little bit. I didn't know who I was without all this stuff, and it was really confusing me. I really wanted to be creative and just make something. I didn't care where or what or how it came about. I just wanted to get something out, and we reached out to JD to see if he would be interested, because it was kind of like, it's like, hey, we're writing a script for you. I know you don't know us, or you don't know me, but you know Sam. You want to like put your money into this thing and go make it somewhere? And you know, thankfully he was down.
So guys, this has been amazing, and I thank Pauletta for encouraging me to call you Claire. And I have really enjoyed this talk, and thank you so much, Zendaya, because I know you are super busy.
No, thank you.
And
Thank
this
you
was
for
great.
having me.